holding on to an Alarmabot. And that minion, when you play it at the start of your turn, it swaps with a minion in your hand. And for only 3 mana, you could swap with an 8-cost minion and have an 8-cost minion as early as turn 3. And that might be too much for almost any deck to deal with. So we'll see what happens. He really doesn't want to draw any other minions because he wants to make sure that Alarmabot swaps with either Ragnaros or Gruul, the dragon killer. The Druid starts off by playing kind of a weak minion, the Novice Engineer. It draws him a card when he comes into play, but Ragnaros doesn't care about cards. So maybe we'll see a quick end as Ragnaros finishes off this Druid here. So the Rogue has Backstab. It costs 0, deals 2 damage, and that's enough to finish off that meek Novice Engineer, and then uses his hero power to spawn a weapon, and doesn't use it right away. He's holding on for maybe a more strategic time where you can finish off a minion rather than just deal 1 damage to the enemy hero. Now the Druid uses his hero power and gives him 1 attack this turn and an armor, and it goes right in, starts off with 1 damage to the Rogue. Now 3 mana, that's enough for Alarmabot, so he'll play it and hope that it gets the attention of either Ragnaros or Gruul. Now he's drawn 2 minions since his opening hand. Still got Ragnaros and Gruul. If he swaps with one of those, that's great. That's incredible this early in the game. But he could swap with the Gadget Auctioneer, which is still good. It's a 4/4 that draws him a card. And the worst case scenario would be the Faceless Manipulator, who has a battle cry that copies a minion, but only if you play it from your hand. So if the Alarmabot summons it, that doesn't do anything for you. Oh, and that's the worst result. The Faceless Manipulator comes out. Just a 3/3 on his own. He would have loved to have played that to copy Ragnaros or something kind of incredible that way. So now he's got access to Preparation and Cold Blood. Neither of those are great plays right now. You want to play Cold Blood usually when you can attack right away because it gives you a big bonus attack. But if you play it on a minion that can't attack because you just played him, well, then your opponent might kill him and you never get to use the advantage of Cold Blood. The Druid, well, that's interesting. He used Wrath, but you can either deal 1 damage and draw a card, or you can deal 3 damage with it. He chose to deal 1 and draw a card, and then it looks like he's going to finish off that minion with Moonfire and his hero power. And it's interesting that he didn't finish off the Alarmabot because it could have summoned, well, it didn't, but it could have summoned Ragnaros or Gruul right there. I guess the Druid doesn't know what cards the Rogue is playing with. Although, if you see Alarmabot, it's fair to assume they've got some pretty big minions. So now that Gadget Auctioneer lets you draw a card every time you play a spell. So we see a couple spells in the hand of the Rogue here. He's got Fan of Knives and Cold Blood. He said he uses his hero power, and he could play Cold Blood, but looks like he's choosing not to do that now. Probably because he doesn't want to use it on a minion that doesn't attack right away, and that makes sense. But in this case, I think I probably would have played it to draw a card from the Gadget Auctioneer. Maybe it's something else that you can play right away as well and draw another card. But it does give your opponent the ability to respond and kill the guy with Cold Blood, and it looks like the Druid would have been able to do that here with a swipe, killing the Gadget Auctioneer, and then using his hero power to get a little bit of armor and an attack to continue picking away at the Rogue. Well, the Rogue here's got 6 mana now. You can see that in the bottom right-hand corner. It's still not enough to play Ragnaros or Gruul. He's got a lot of cards that he can... he's got Fan of Knives. It's not very good when your opponent has no minions, and he just drew Assassinate, which kills a minion. Also not good when your opponent has no minions.